All right, welcome back. Sharp and Shapiro, it is the Vegas Take. C-Win joining us in studio as well. Will any of you be watching the caucusing tonight?
After your initial description at the top of the show, as far as what caucusing could possibly be determined as, I don't necessarily know if I'm too interested.
I don't know, man. It sounds pretty exciting to me.
I'm pretty sad now because you know why?
I'm tuning in.
JD and Brian, you know why I'm kind of sad? Because Brian brought up, of course, the AVN's Hard Rock Hotel here in Las Vegas closed as of today. I believe 3 a.m. They stopped serving alcohol. The table games closed at 1 a.m. last night. No longer the Hard Rock Hotel here in town.
Very sad.
Just a little side point.
Very sad.
Yes.
But yeah, maybe it'll be. I enjoyed all the memorabilia there. I've seen some great shows, but maybe it'll be bigger and better. We'll have to wait.
Out
and
with
see
the old, into the new, Brian, and
That's
of course
true.
the new. We're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. Also,
speaking of the new, yes. So they are the Las Vegas Raiders, and it's amazing. It's right around the corner where they're going to be practicing here. Not too long from now, but we've heard these rumors circulating about Tom Brady. Did he or did he not buy property along near Red Rock? Mm-hmm. And now this mysterious Tom Brady post was a Hulu ad. Have a listen to this.
They say all good things must come to an end. So to my teammates, my family, and my fans, you deserve to hear this from me. Hulu doesn't just have live sports. According to the script they just gave me, Hulu also has your favorite cable channels plus the greatest shows, movies, and originals of all time. So it's time to say goodbye to TV as you know it. But me? I'm not going anywhere.
So you take that as you want. He's kind of toying with the fans a little bit to try to sell this Hulu product. But my opinion on this whole thing is he very well could stay in New England. We know that the relationship he has with management there couldn't be any better. With that being said, he did sell his home in Boston, and it could be one of those situations where he just wants to start fresh. He knows he might have 1 or 2 more years left in his career. I think it's the favorite right now is he stays in New England. I think second up before Vegas would be San Diego, and then
Los Angeles, Brian.
But I do think that there is a small chance. I would have said no chance a month ago. Now I'm saying there's a very small chance, less than 5% maybe, that he does become a Raider. He likes Las Vegas. Tom Brady has been seen at the Mayweather fights. He was just out here for the Conor McGregor fight.
I get that.
He enjoys Las Vegas.
He was talking to Mark Davis at the Conor McGregor fight.
He could also take a private jet for 45 minutes and get it from L.A. And he can still attend all the same stuff and not take the 6-hour flight from Boston to do it if he lives in L.A. I think he's a Charger. I think that he wants to go to a team.
You think he's more a Charger than a New England Patriot next year?
Absolutely. I think he's done with New England.
You do?
Yeah, he's from California. His parents are getting older. His wife is a supermodel. The LA lifestyle makes sense for him. The Chargers have a very, very good offensive team around him. He's got a tight end. He's got Mike Williams, Keenan Allen.
Right,
he's
so
got the running back. He can walk into a situation and not have to make a lot of plays. He's going to have playmakers. With the Raiders, he's going to have Josh Jacobs, Tyrell Williams, Hunter Renfrow. They're going to have to maybe get an Antonio Brown type of player in free agency or draft 2 wide receivers. And the Patriots tried that last year. They drafted N'Keal Harry. You saw how that went. So I think that he ends up a Los Angeles Charger, and I love it. I think it's great for the NFL, and I think it's great for LA, and I would not be shocked if they competed for a Super Bowl next year.
So the speculation is that he was searching for places along the Red Rock area there, but again, it's speculation.
Well,
so is that you don't think that's valid?
Well, whether it's valid or not, the real estate market in Las Vegas is going to keep going up, up, up. So buying a property here, a nice property, and just sitting on it and having a place to live in Las Vegas instead of having to go to the hotels. I mean, a lot of athletes do that. And then selling it in 5 to 10 years at 40 or 60% markup, that's just a smart investment. So I don't think that necessarily means that he is coming to Las Vegas to be a Raider.
And a quick note to you guys, for the last 48 hours on Boston Sports Radio, they've been reporting that Tom Brady and the New England Patriots apparently are willing to go as high as $30 million a year for a 42-year-old quarterback. So in my opinion, obviously JD talks about the Los Angeles Chargers, and Brian, you brought up the possibility of the Raiders here. In my opinion, I think that it's still the front runner is the team that he's been playing with his entire career. I think New England is still very much in the mix. It's intriguing, though, right, about the Las Vegas Raiders because, and JD pointed out the type of players that are going to play with him, but Nick Bogdanovich also pointed out early in the show, we're not getting that superstar quarterback anymore. We're getting a 42-year-old version of Tom Brady, and I don't necessarily know if that's an upgrade from a Derek Carr or some other possibilities out there at quarterback.
I absolutely think it is.
It's definitely an upgrade, but
really, 42?
I think so.
Derek Carr
so.
is not even close to an elite quarterback. Not even close.
But if he signs a year, say he signs a $33 million a year with the Patriots, how big is that cap hit? How much space does that take up to add to the roster? I mean, it'd be the exact. I mean, it would be a very, very similar roster to last year. Mohamed Sanu, maybe in N'Keal Harry, Julian Edelman. I don't think it makes sense for him to. Then so they'll probably lose some defensive talent. They'll probably lose a couple of offensive linemen. It doesn't make any sense for him. And you know what? He doesn't need that money. Together, him and Gasol are worth about $600 million.
But he has a sugar mama, right?
He probably just got paid $10 million for this Hulu ad.
But guys, speaking of the Raiders, let's remember Derek Carr signed a 5-year, $125 million contract back in 2017. He was booed out of the Oakland Coliseum, the team's final game there, and fans were throwing trash and food on the field, which, by the way, I don't condone. Fans are they're getting a little fed up with Derek Carr. I think that's fair to say. I've said this 2 years ago. I didn't think he was ever going to be an elite quarterback. I just don't think he has what it takes. Is he not an NFL quarterback? No, I would never say that. Of course he's an NFL quarterback, but he's not in the higher echelon. I wouldn't even say he's even close to top 25% of all the quarterbacks in the league.
But Brian, I think from the Raiders' standpoint, though, I would think that, yes, this would be a win for them, right? They would absolutely want Tom Brady to be the quarterback because from a marketing standpoint,
huge publicity stunt.
A big splash coming to Las Vegas, it would be great for the Raiders. So
great for Vegas.
But, you know what? But from Tom Brady's perspective, that's kind of what you have to take a look at.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense for Brady to come up just because of the personnel and this. And honestly, I think he'd look like crap in a Raiders jersey. I don't think he would look good. I think he would look better. It's gonna be hard to imagine.
Well, I'm taking
not in a Patriots
and Raider
jersey.
fan won't like it. Raider fan still remembers the Tuck rule. Raider fan is not. When any Raider fan that I've talked to about this, they would be irate to get Tom Brady on this team.
All right. Well, let me just from this perspective, let me just say I agree with Chris on this one. I disagree with you, JD.
That's fine.
I think the favorite is that he stays with New England, and that would not. I think that's the favorite.
He's only minus 200 right now.
Well, I'm going to say that he stays in New England. I think this is all. He wanted a bigger number. He got it. He got
leverage.
$30 million.
He got leverage.
He was trying to get leverage. Everybody tries to get leverage. Even Dave Rice, the former UNLV basketball coach, tried to get leverage when he wasn't winning.
The reason that he was getting paid what he was is because he chose to take a pay cut to get there, Brian.
Right.
Money's not his problem. He's not trying to. He doesn't need to get leverage from the Patriots. So they're saying we're so desperate we will spend a quarter of our salary cap to put you on the team.
No, but it's leverage, JD, if he wants to stay in New England.
Well,
you know what I mean? He can get paid and still stay in New England. I put something to the fact that maybe Tom Brady is a sentimental guy that says, you know what? I want to be that guy that was the New England quarterback for my entire career. I don't want to be Joe Montana and go to Kansas City. I don't want to be these star quarterbacks that waste away for 1 or 2 years on some team that I could care less about. You know,
I think
and
a
that
lot
could
of
be the case.
I think a lot of it has to do
Chargers.
with his kids being closer to grandma and grandpa in California. I think that's a big part of it. I think he's gonna take his horse onto the West Coast and sail off into the West Coast sunset and be a Los Angeles Charger.
Well, you could look at it the other way though too, JD. Right? You could look at it like his kids have been in school in New England for years, right? And you don't want to take them out of that situation.
Well, they're like 10. They're not even. I think they're 10.
Well, Jack's
and 10
older.
and
Jack,
6
I think what's Jack 14 or 15?
I don't think
his oldest son's older.
Does he have a kid in high school?
I think he has a kid who's a freshman.
Early middle
school. He might be in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Jack, the oldest one he had with Bridget Moynihan, is his oldest son. My point being, though, is that you're talking about moving to go closer to the grandparents.
Right.
You're talking about picking up kids that are in school and moving them to California where they have never lived before. And doing that.
Listen,
I get it.
Listen, I think everything's on the table here. I'm not ruling anything out. All I'm simply saying is I think if you have to put a favorite, I would say that he stays in New England. I'm not saying he can't go to L.A., and I'm not saying he can't become a Raider. All I'm saying is I would say that absolutely, if I had to put my money on it, I would say that he remains a Patriot. And then I think the second favorite, I agree, is L.A. And then I think the third favorite, which isn't bad, by the way, for Vegas.
No, of course
if you had to pick a second, third team he would go to, if he doesn't stay in New England, if he doesn't go to L.A., I would say Vegas.
Or it could be the Tennessee Titans if they don't.
No.
If they don't,
I don't think there's any
I was going
chance.
to pose JD. I was going to pose that question to you. What other outlying
that
teams?
could happen.
What other outlying? Does he go to a Buffalo? Does he go to Detroit?
No, of course
Does
not.
he go?
No,
you
Jesus,
just mentioned Tennessee.
Absolutely not. No,
you just mentioned the Titans.
Yeah, but the Titans just made the playoffs. They had a
How
pretty
about the Detroit
very good year.
Lions?
Mike Vrabel, his former teammate,
plays for Matt Patricia.
Would be his head coach as well.
What if he goes to Detroit?
And they trade Stafford to New England?
That would be the biggest upset in history. And keep in mind, the Chargers just sent Phillip Rivers packing.
They did.
They don't have a quarterback.
What are
They
the
need-
chances?
There. There's a
Well,
spot.
let me
they
ask you
need a
guys
in
this.
quarterback.
LA.
What are the chances that he has some eligibility left and Arroyo tries to recruit him for 1 year to be the UNLV quarterback? Because I know they have a quarterback issue, right? So,
I know he'd be happy to come to UNLV because there wouldn't be a quarterback competition like it was back at Michigan, where he's competing against Drew Henson and Brian Greasy and all those guys.
listen, if Randall Cunningham wants Tom Brady there, he should try to recruit him here for the Raiders. I'm
I like
talking
that.
about. Yeah, try to recruit him. Get
Very,
Randall
very smart.
Cunningham to come out and say we want Brady to become a Las Vegas Raider, but he would never do that because that would be disrespectful towards Derek Carr.
Because they're so close and they play the quarterback position so similarly.
Derek Carr is not the guy to get us to the promised land, folks. I'm sorry, he's not.
And I'll agree with that.
Guys, I would love it to see Tom Brady come here to Vegas. Think about
it'd be awesome.
think about the marketing plan. Think about the anticipation of having the greatest quarterback in the history of the league coming here in the first season in Vegas. It'd be great. I'm sorry, it'd be great.
It'd be
Especially that we're here in Vegas. Obviously, in the
I
market.
just don't like thinking about Tom Brady in a Raiders jersey. It just
Who
bothers me.
cares? I mean, it's Tom Brady.
Optics are everything, Brian.
The man is better.
It really bothers me for some
The
reason.
man
I don't
is
know
still.
what it is.
I'm sorry, but the man is still a better quarterback.
I just can't make
Wait a
sense
minute,
of
you
it
can't see
in
him
my
in a,
mind.
JD, you can't see him in a Raiders uniform, but you could see him in an LA Chargers uniform.
Yeah, I
mean,
can.
it just
I
seems
can.
weird there.
Look,
When I superimpose his head on that jersey in my brain, it looks better to me in a Chargers jersey
guys,
than it
you
does.
can't deny
he's
this.
He's too much of a pretty boy to be the quarterback for the Raiders, in my opinion.
Okay, guys, I don't care what he looks like. I don't care what jersey he's in. You cannot deny.
He is a pretty boy,
Hold
though.
on. You cannot deny the fact that right now, at the age of 42, he is still better, in my personal opinion, than at least 70% of starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
I think that's pushing it a little bit.
You do?
I don't necessarily think he's top 10 anymore.
I mean, I would argue that
I don't think he's top 10
I would
anymore.
argue he still has the best pocket presence of any quarterback in the NFL.
He is top 30%.
I would say
You guys saw he played last year, right?
And I watched. Did you watch that game? That final game against the Titans?
Absolutely, I did.
He threw a couple of balls 62 yards.
still has
But
an
you
arm.
guys
I mean,
saw
I watched-
Tom
I
Brady
watched
what
him-
he did this
I
regular
watched
season
him
with the Patriots.
launch-
Wasn't his fault.
But he had nobody to throw
Wasn't
to.
his fault.
No
He didn't have
Gronk.
the receivers.
He had no tight end.
He didn't have the receivers, and
Chargers-
also their defense wasn't very good this year. either.
No, the defense was amazing this year. Actually,
Yeah,
no,
it wasn't amazing.
It was not great.
It
against,
wasn't
It was not
amazing.
great against the run, but that pass through the first 10 weeks was crazy. Stephon Gilmore won Defensive Player of the Year for a
If their
reason.
defense was amazing,
But Brady
Tennessee would have lost that football
Brady
game.
still has a not against the run, I said, but Brady still has a cannon for an arm, and he's great in his footwork in the pocket.
So you agree
has
with me?
Not dropped off.
He's a top 30% starting quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
So if he came to the Raiders, he
Yes.
would make the Raiders a playoff contender, is what you're saying.
I think he still needs
think
talent.
so.
He
You
still
think?
needs
Yeah.
talent around him offensively that the Raiders don't have right now.
Well, they need more talent. There's no question
The
about it.
the Chargers have a ready-made team ready to go and a great D.
I agree with that. Listen, like I said, I put it at about 5% that he becomes the Raiders starting quarterback next year. I'm going to put it at about 20% that he goes to L.A., and I'm going to put it at about 75-80% that he stays in New England. Those are my odds. I'm sticking with my guns. Anyway, it is Monday, and this has been a fun-filled, packed show. Our thanks, by the way, to Nick Bogdanovich, who joined us. Sorry to hear that the book's made money, by the way. I never like to hear that. But anyway, C-Win, thank you for joining us. As always, C-Winning Mondays instead of C-Winning Wednesdays. I like that.
Solid.
We will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. We are going to take a 21-hour break. The man, Sean Hannity, as I like to call him, the legend, is coming up next. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on the Vegas Take. This is the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDON. Have a great day.